And while technology has made it easier to access music, it's also helping those who make it. With reduced costs and increased processing power, the very nature of what can be achieved with sound engineering has changed dramatically. And here to tell us more about that is musician and sound engineer at Sterling Sound, Sean Williams. Sean, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Now, before we get into the technology, let's talk a bit about the art of sound and the role of a sound engineer. You know, some people think it's an artist sitting in a little room mixing a music track, but what do you actually do on a day-to-day basis?
So on a day-to-day basis, pretty much what we do here at Sterling Sound, we do radio and TV adverts. That's kind of our main line of business. We do some music production. But basically, the role of a sound engineer is way more than just technical. I think you definitely need technical skills, the ability to hear. But things like communication, working under intense pressure, dealing with maybe 10 different people's versions of an idea for an ad. So that's like the communication skills side. But then obviously there's also the technical elements as we're working with quality sound programs like Pro Tools. So you need to know your way around a session, getting everything you need done within the allocated time. You're overseeing the whole process. So you're not just recording the voice, you're also helping direct the voice. You're helping pick up maybe where mistakes have gone wrong during the session. You're then thinking of music that might fit that certain ad they want to create, sound effects, leveling those sound effects, getting everything coming together and sounding nice and punchy for radio and TV platforms.
So it's a multi-skilled position, but now technology does play a big role. As you say, you know, artists like yourself, you use Pro Tools. Is a sound engineer only as good as the technology he or her has at their disposal?
Look, in this day and age, everything's become so accessible. So anyone can just set up a kind of entry-level studio at home and do great stuff. There's some guys doing really great stuff off a simple setup. But my personal opinion in all that, the sound engineer plays a massive role in that, and so does technology. So it's hand in hand in that I can get a great performance from a voice-over artist or a singer and then use technology to enhance that. Obviously we use technology to record it, but I wouldn't depend completely on technology, as in, like, for instance, autotune. There's many singers today who rely on and depend on autotune to be able to sing. I think it's rather getting a good voice in and then using your different tools to enhance that sound and make it sound even greater.
Let's talk a bit about the future of sound design and sound engineering and the technology available. What kind of trends are you seeing in terms of the product that's coming out, perhaps a new Pro Tools version? What is the next big thing in sound engineering?
I think as a whole, everything's just getting smaller, easier, simpler to use. As a whole, I think what drove the industry 40, 50 years ago was maybe your big movies. So for instance, what Star Wars did for sound engineers was amazing. You know, they had to create sounds like the lightsaber and the laser. Those sounds didn't exist before the 70s. You know, no one knew what that sounded like. So they had to think, what can we use to create those sounds? So that pushed technology and sound forward. And now it's obviously there's things like your gaming is fully immersive headsets. So the online gaming, that's just one aspect, is pushing the whole industry and technology forward, because the need now is to have this fully immersive sound experience just wearing a pair of headphones and playing a game. That's just one aspect. So I think things are just going to get way more accessible, as they already are. I mean, you know, the thought of having a personal computer years ago was impossible, but now everything is just, you can do everything from home. So I hope it doesn't replace me. I hope a robot doesn't replace me. But
But speaking about you, just before we go, not only are you a sound engineer, you're a musician as well.
Yes.
Do you think the one enhances the other enhances the one? Does it make you a better sound engineer if you can understand and value music in its purest form and what it's made out of?
I think that's a great question. It's definitely, it's helped me so much, where you can hear something. Sometimes a client just wants to use a library track that's standard, but you can hear more beyond that. You know, it's definitely, it helps. You can definitely enhance a very simple radio ad just using musical textures and stuff like that. So it definitely does help. It helps me a heck of a lot. Yeah.
Sean, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, growing smartphone penetration across Africa has done wonders for music distribution, and there's one East African startup that's hoping to make the process more honest and transparent. Mdundo.com is an African digital distribution platform that lets users download songs to their phones for free. And through technology, they're helping artists capitalize on their talents and increase their fan bases at the same time.